Hey, folks, I'm live. Hang on, I don't have my mic plugged in. Let me do that. Hold on. And then again, I don't know if that's going to pick up my mic now or not because I didn't have it plugged in when I started the broadcast. Let's try this. See if it grabs the right thing here. There we go. And that'll give time for anybody who's out there who wants to come in and take a peek. All right, folks. Hey, Audrey, how you doing? Hey, Brianna. Audrey, I just saw you last night. We'll let people guess on that one. We'll just leave them guessing. Yes, Audrey was at the live broadcast last night with Rocky Stucci and me and Jeffrey Dougherty over at the Depot, our remote broadcast. Jama, nice to see you. And Brianna, I think I said hi. Nice to see you. I'm coming on right now because it's the only time of day I've had to slip in here. I've been running all day. And as many of you do, that's not unique. Running all day is nothing big. We all got that. But this is the first opportunity I've had to sit down at the mic and the camera. And there will not be an Intrepid radio program tonight. We're doing a rebroadcast of last night's Intrepid radio program, only because I have not had a chance to pre-record one because I'm going to be out and away tonight. Tonight, Rocky Stucci and I have had this is going on our 5th or 6th year. We go out to the Renaissance Festival, the Minnesota Renaissance Festival site. They have the Trail of Terror that they run every year at Halloween time. And the guy who does the Feast of Fantasy, Jimmy Cunningham, at the festival, during the festival run, runs the Phantoms Feast during the Trail of Terror. And it's in one of the old buildings out there called Bad Manor. It's all sold out for tonight. But Rocky and I have for 5-6 years have done a ghost investigation out there for Jimmy Cunningham, for his audience after his show at the Feast of Fantasy. And so, I'm sorry, the Phantoms Feast. I keep calling it the Feast of Fantasy because it's the same thing that they were doing at the festival for years and years and years and years. And Jimmy does this on his own, the Phantoms Feast, puts on a good show, has some paranormal groups out there sometimes, some psychics out there sometimes for after show shows. And that's what Rocky and I do. And we walk people around to some of the different stages on the old festival site. And it's very different out there after dark and when the show is not going on, the Renaissance Festival. During Renaissance Festival season, you get hundreds of thousands of people that pass through that site every year in the 7 to 8 weekends that they're open. And usually about 20,000 or more per day out on that site. And so now it's like an abandoned Renaissance era, Tudor era village. Now, if you don't know what I mean by Tudor, the Tudor kings and queens, starting with Henry VIII and Elizabeth and Mary Tudor and those. Tudor era England. And that's what the village looks like. That's there sitting on 23 acres amidst an ancient oak grove that has been there forever. And it all sits on top of an old quarry site, a limestone quarry site. So those of you who know anything about paranormal and the energies that build up with limestone, it sits on a limestone site. It's in the midst of a ley line. It sits in an oak grove. And the hundreds of thousands of people that have gone through that site in the last 45 to 50 years and have left energy there, from just visitors to people who have been there for many, many years. Like myself, I was there for many years as entertainment. So this is where we're going. And it's good weather today. Audrey came up last night to join us for the live show over at the Depot. And she said, "Oh my God, it's cold here." Well, it was after dark, and it gets cooler after dark, of course. You're hitting, Audrey, probably the last 2 really nice days of autumn. Next week, our forecast says ice and snow. So that's even a little early. We didn't used to get ice and snow before Halloween when I was a kid growing up, but we have for like the last 20 years. I remember in 1991 was the first I had ever heard of getting a blizzard up here. And so in 1991, we had a 21-inch snowfall blizzard on Halloween. And so every year we're kind of dodging that and seeing if we're going to make it without snow. So it's just an amazing place out here. And so today, the reason I'm doing this little live feed right now at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday the 25th is that I will not be doing a broadcast tonight. And I did not get a chance to pre-record one for tonight, which was my plan initially. I just didn't start early enough in the day today. And I've been running everywhere and have had no opportunity. So this is to tell you tonight's broadcast is a rebroadcast of last night's show. So if you come in, don't be surprised. Or if you come in and you're watching the show and somebody in the chat room says, hey, didn't this play last night? And missed this little live thing, just don't, oh, hey, Scotty was on earlier today and he's not doing a live show tonight, didn't record a new one because he's out doing the ghost investigation tonight with Rocky Stucci over at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival site, blah, 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 blah. You get it. Now, oh, by the way, we also have Jeff Dougherty has been up. He was up for the live broadcast last night and joined Rocky and I, and he is coming to the festival site with us tonight to get a taste of what that is all about. So Jeff will be there tonight. We're going to be doing some live streams because we're going to go out early. The show that we do, we don't have to be there until 10:30 tonight because it's after the main show. We're brought on stage. So we're going out there at about 5:30, 6 o'clock this afternoon so we can walk around the site and I can show the guys around all my favorite old spots on the site while there's still a little light in the sky. And because walking around that site in the dark, you can do it if you got a good flashlight. But, it's always nice to hit a little daylight. So we're going to go out and do some preliminary investigating as well as some preliminary videos that we're going to put up. It's probably going to be on Rocky Stucci Media on Facebook is where we're doing that because neither Rocky and I are set up on our remote on our phones to be able to do live feeds to YouTube. But I think Jeff will also be broadcasting some of that on his YouTube live. So late this afternoon, early evening into the night. So you can watch that stuff there. Let me say hi to some of you that are here. Space is water. We can vouch for you, Scotty. Thank you, Space. Let's see. Who else is in here that I didn't get a chance? I don't get a chance to say hi to people anymore because of the format of the network radio show. But Pyramid, good to see you. Pyramid, I am in western Wisconsin, about an hour from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. So you got Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Twin Cities in Minnesota. You just go east about a half an hour. You hit the river, the St. Croix River, cross the border into Wisconsin. That's where I am. I'm over in western Wisconsin. And there's a lot of people who live over here because of the taxes in Minnesota. They call it the land of 10,000 lakes. It's the land of 10,000 taxes and then some. And so it's a little cheaper to live over here. But I had a ranch over here for a while, many years ago, horse ranch. And we just stuck in western Wisconsin. So that's where I'm coming from. And you know what? It's not frozen tundra up here year around, but it's cold right now. And it's unseasonably cold. Audrey, I see, you're still here. They're saying in the weather reports, we're about 10 to 15 degrees below average right now. But we're going to be this afternoon. It's going to be, and this evening, it's going to be into the 50s, cooling, a clear sky. And because there's no cloud cover, there's no heat being held in. And tomorrow, even better. It's going to be into this, almost hitting 60 tomorrow in the bright sunshine. So, but fall is just about over and winter's coming. So hopefully we'll get what they call up here Indian summer, which hits late in autumn. And sometimes you get that in November. But I remember as a kid, Thanksgiving time, we always had 3 feet of snow on the ground because we'd have snowball fights and all the relatives would get together for Thanksgiving. And so that's not uncommon. But I've also had years where we go well into the middle of December wondering if we're going to have a green Christmas instead of a white one. So weather's wonky, but it gets cold up here. So that's where I am. Let's see. It's cold in England. Nothing new for England. I don't know what kind of temps you have there. I don't do Celsius very well, but when it's, I got up this morning, it was 30 degrees outside, which is 2 degrees below freezing, which is 32 degrees here. In England, I don't know what it is Celsius. Is it 0? Is that freezing? Is that how the system is built there? If I knew metrics, I'd be dangerous. So anyway, that's what this little live broadcast is all about, to tell you that, and I don't know if it's picking up through my real mic or if it's picking up through my computer mic, because I didn't have it switched on fast enough. But not that that really matters if you can hear my voice. So Kansas City is chilly, says Pyramid, bringing plants in at night. Yeah, we did that. We had a nice coating of thick frost on everything this morning, which was really the first time this year we've had that. So it could be a little chilly tonight, but the days are nice. So hopefully the ground retains some of that warmth into the evening tonight. And that's where we'll be. Watch for the live streams over on Facebook. I might do some. I can't say I won't. But primarily Rocky will be doing them over on Rocky Stucci's page. Rocky Stucci Media, I think, is where he's doing them from. And Jeff will be doing some probably over on his Christian Whistleblower channel here on YouTube. And so there you go. Let's see. I've got food in pots. Go Gadget Peppers. All right, Peppers. Yeah, wear some leggings. I'm going to tell you, Audrey, since I'm talking to you now via live stream, dress warm tonight. I hope you brought enough warm clothes, because it will get chilly outside. You saw last night when we all would step outside the bar to get some fresh air. You saw how cold that was last night. Well, it's going to be a little warmer tonight, so dress warm. So good. I'm going to dress warm as I always do. That's it. That's really all I have to say. Rainey said I should come on and do a few readings, do a limit, tops 3 readings. But right now, I've got to be somewhere in about a half an hour away from the house. So I'm not going to have time to do any readings. But so my apologies. Took me an extra hour to get to doing this live thing. Maybe if I didn't talk very much, I could have done readings instead, huh? But there you go, folks. I want to thank you for listening to my show. Spread the word. I still am I'm crawling my way to 1,000 subscribers, because YouTube right now, you have to have 1,000 subscribers in order to be able to monetize your channel, meaning I can have ads play on it and I can take some money from it and stuff like that. That would be awfully nice, because right now, whether you know it or not, while we say it's not a numbers game, we do this because we love it. We do it for you guys, your family. It would be awfully nice to say the thing that we spend half our days doing would be awfully nice to be able to pull a few bucks out and pay a couple of bills with it. Maybe even the internet bill. Maybe take my wife out to dinner once in a while. Maybe feed my starving children who are dressed in rags. There, let that one sink in. No, but to monetize this channel would be nice. Rocky and I would love nothing more than to be able to do our shows and say this is the way we make a living, is we do these shows. But I'm not there yet. I'm still at 767. And it's funny. It seems like I've gotten a slew of new subscribers over the last week, but the numbers haven't changed any. So that's just kind of weird. I think that's the way YouTube does things. I might be losing listeners along the way too, and they don't always announce that. So spread the word and get people to come over and listen and subscribe and like the videos, even this video. Hit the little thumbs up down at the bottom. That counts. So have people subscribe, hit the little bell so they get notifications, and hit the thumbs up on the videos that you watch and listen to. And even if you hate them, give me the thumbs up because that helps. And then you can come back and hate more of my videos. So I've got right now, since I started the actual radio show with Odyssey Radio Network about 2 months ago. I can't remember the date. Was it August 19th? I think I started. So August to September, October, November, 2 months. I've got, I believe, about 60 episodes up of my show, because this show, as you know, Airs Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, which would be 7 p.m. Audrey time out on the left coast. So come on in, listen. You can catch everything in archives. All my shows I've ever done are down below on my main page here on my channel, Mr. Scotty Roberts. Just come in and go down. You'll see one of the subsections is the Intrepid Radio program. And you can open that up and you can watch all the shows. You can scroll through them all, choose the ones you want to listen to and watch, and do that. Catch anything we've done. And prior to being with Odyssey Radio, of course, for the last year, I've been doing live streams. It wasn't every day, and some of them were longer than others because I didn't have that stricture to fit into for the radio show or for the network. And so things like the King David series and all the book readings and all that stuff over the last year are all up in there. So take a look and share the word and go listen to some things if you want to. So there you go. That's all the advertising I got for today. Let's see. Well, I'll just let you know too. Just signed a new client contract today. I'm doing a graphic novel for a new author. I'm working on a graphic novel right now. If you didn't know that, this is what I do. I'm an illustrator. I'm a designer. I've been doing this since I was 17 years old in 1977, back in my high school days. I started as an artist for a little print shop / theological book publisher. And he hired me to draw pictures for dust jackets for his theological books that he would print. And what he did is he took old theological books that were out of copyright, 76 years old plus, and they're up for grabs. And he would take those and he would find usually an old crumbling book, and he would cut it apart, and we'd shoot negatives of all the pages, clean them up, cut those negatives apart and fit them onto a pagination system and make plates for the printing press. And we ran a little A.B. Dick printing press down in his basement. Then we'd send them out to bookbinders. They'd come back and I would draw the dust jacket pictures for the titles, do the graphics on them. And so that's where I got my first job. So I've been doing this now for 40 years, an illustrator and designer. I was an art director and a creative director in advertising for 20 plus years. And I've been doing this for a long time. So just in case you didn't know that. So this is what I do for a living. And it's not that I wouldn't want to keep doing this for a living, but let me give you a sneak peek of something here. You want to see what I'm working on right now? Just because I'm talking about it and I got a couple of minutes before I got to take off for my appointment. I'm working on a graphic novel. An award-winning science fiction novelist by the name of Gareth Worthington wrote Children of the Fifth Son. And he got some awards for that, and he has me doing a graphic novel series for him of that book. And I've got sitting here some of the original pencils for that. But here, this will give you an idea. This is what I've been doing in the comic book work. You can see here, and these are pages from the book done in pencil. And let's see, what's the next page? Oh, the next page was this one. So you can see the main character is a underwater photographer. And so all these characters that I draw, and then the script goes in there. And what else we got here? So here you go. These are just the pencils now, remember, not the inks or colors or anything like that. And this one's just going to be in black and white. And I'm going to do a color cover and color poster that gets inserted. These are just some of the recent pages I've done that are sitting here on my desk. So this was one I was just working on earlier, and it's just not done yet. So there's this page. So that gives you an idea what I'm doing for this guy. Oh, these are some of the characters. This is the main character, the underwater photographer. And this is the science fiction-y species that is part of this book. And so all of this stuff, that's what I do. So I just today landed another new graphic novel with a client of mine. And so that's good. I got a whole stack of things here, of things that I do as an illustrator and a designer. If you ever need anything like this done, this is the kind of work I do. This is kind of how things look when they get inked. So that gives you an idea. Some of you have seen this one before. Oh, hey, here's a page sitting right here. That it's not inked, but this is one of the other pages out of this comic book and this graphic novel. And that bottom piece, it's really hard to make that out. It's just an overhead view of the wide open ocean with the yacht sailing through the ocean there, careening through the waves. So where the action is taking place. So there you go. That's my thank you, by the way, Jama. This is my pencil work. And then I do stuff like this too. This was for another author. I may have shown this one once before, but that's watercolor for his book on the life of Jesus and the crucifixion of Jesus. And this was an illustration he just contacted me about, and he says, I need this particular illustration. So I did that. And, if you're looking for a good Christmas present, as long as I'm here talking about it, you remember my book, The Rollicking Adventures of Tam O'Hare. I wrote and illustrated this, and it's full of full color illustrations. And if you want to get a good Christmas present for kids, this is written to kid readers, fourth grade to junior high to middle school type. But the biggest buying audience I had on this book was college age and up. So go figure. But there you go. That's what I do day in and day out. I love doing it. Doesn't mean I don't want to do radio full time either. I've been doing this for 40 years. So there you go. All right. Enough of that. Enough. I'm not bragging, showing off my work. So if you want to write a book, comic book, if you need book illustrations, you need logo designs, any kind of design work like that, that's what I do. That's what I do for a living. So there you go. Let's see. I watched Queen Mary of the Scots and thought about your book, says Jim. Yeah, that was actually pretty well done, that movie. And yeah, I've got, you know what, in this book, I have a picture I did of Mary, Queen of Scots, because even though these are fictional characters and it's all animals, I used historical characters. And there's a place here where Tam O'Hare encounters Queen Elizabeth. That's this scene right here. If you can see that. It's hard with the glare coming off the light. But there's Tam in the foreground on the ship, and that's Queen Elizabeth in the background in the red dress and the hat as animals. And yeah, it's got a lot. This is a very historical book. Even though it's fanciful, it's about the fairies, the fae, and things like that, but it's set against real history. There's Tam O'Hare, the main character of the book, right there. It's an Irish lord. And I've got a scene of him with Mary, Queen of Scots. Let me find it for you here. Not there. It's before this chapter, where he's kneeling before Mary, Queen of Scots. Here you go. This is Tam and Mary, Queen of Scots in the book. And that dress of Mary's right there, I took that off of a painting of her. So that is about as close to authentic a look on an animal and an anthropomorphized character as you can get for Mary, Queen of Scots. So there you go. Then Bothwell, you know who Bothwell was. If you know anything about Mary, Queen of Scots, I depicted him as a wolf. And there he is, Bothwell. And that's a doublet, that doublet coat that he's wearing, I took off of a painting of James Hepburn, the Earl of Bothwell, husband to Mary, Queen of Scots. So there you go. That's what all is in this particular book. So that's it. That's all the time I got, because I got to get out of here. I got a 2:15 appointment, and so I got to run and do some other things while I'm out. I wish I had time to look through most of your comments. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I appreciate everything you guys are saying. I see some things. Thank you for the compliments. And thank you for being here, watching my quick little live stream that was just to announce I would not be here live tonight, or even pre-recorded, that it's another show that's filling in the gaps. One of my earlier shows from last night, because I'll be gone doing ghost hunting with Rocky, but watch for the live streams of that tonight. And it's now, I've been now doing this for 25 minutes. So let me get out of here, get out of your hair. I want to thank you all for being here and for paying attention to my stuff, watching my shows. And we'll talk again soon. So see you later. Have a good rest of your Friday.